In this segment, we're going to look at how to use the Weld, Trim, and Intersect tools found here on the top toolbar. And currently they're gray, which means I'll need to do something before I can use them. So what we'll do is we'll use our Create Ellipse tool, and I'll just draw a few different shapes. And I'm going to purposely make sure they're overlapping because that's kind of what this tool is all about. Anyway, I'm done drawing ellipses, so I'll right-click to finish. And you'll see that I now have 1, 2, 3 different shapes that I've created. Now, if I have more than one of them, in fact, I'll have all 3 of them selected. Now these tools become available. I have Weld, I have Trim, and I have Intersect. And so we'll start with Weld. The idea here is that when we use the Weld tool, it will take all 3 of our ellipses and join them together to make one shape that has just the common outside boundary. So basically we're going to lose all of these inside shape lines. So if I choose Weld, you'll see that now what I have is one shape that has just the overall outline of the 3 shapes. So that's welding them together. Now I'm going to hit undo to put them back to their 3 individual shapes again. And this time we'll look at Trim, I mean. So with Trim, first of all, the way Trim works is you need to select at least 2 or more shapes. So I'll select this left-hand circle. Now I'm just going to hold down the Shift key on my keyboard and click on this sort of right-hand oval. So I have 2 objects selected, and the one that I selected first was the circle, and the one that I selected second was the oval. Now notice when I go over the trim that it shows in yellow the part that will be trimmed away. In other words, we're going to use this circle to trim this section here out of the oval. It's like taking a bite out of the oval. So I'll just go ahead and click on it, Trim. And now notice if I select, see there's the oval, and it's like a cookie cut right out of where that circle was trimmed right out of that shape. So here I'll hit undo to put it back and undo again to sort of reverse that. So now we have our complete oval, our complete circle, and another complete circle. Now I'll do it the opposite. I'm going to select the oval first, hold my Shift key down, and then select on the circle. So the reverse order, same thing. Now when I hit Trim, it's the oval taking the bite out of the circle. And so you can see here that it's taken, oops, I didn't mean to reshape it. I was just going to move it off to the side so you could see that the oval took the trimmed away on the circle. Now I'll hit undo and undo to put everything back together. Now, what if I select all 3? So let's select this one, then this one, and then this one. And now when I say trim, it shows that it's going to trim the bottom circle. It's going to use the top 2, this circle and this oval, to trim that lower circle. So the trim tool generally works. Whatever you select will be what is the shape that trims out of, and I guess it's the key thing is what you select second is what gets trimmed. Here I'll hit undo and undo. So just to try it again, I'll select the oval first, and then I want to use this oval to trim from this lower circle. So I'll select the lower circle second. See, the oval's green, lower circle's highlighted in purple, and I know when I hit trim that it's going to take a sort of bite out of the lower circle. And so there's that lower circle as it was trimmed out by this oval. So again, undo and undo to put everything back to kind of how it was. So that's the trim tool. And just to refresh, it's whatever you select first will trim out of whatever you select second. So the one you select second is the one that gets trimmed, something gets trimmed off of it. Now I'll hit undo to put that back. And the final thing here is called Intersect. Now with Intersect, when you have 2 or more objects selected, so here I have the green object, the green circle, and the sort of oval, both selected. And the area in between where they're common, that's what will get created. If I choose Intersect, it creates a new object, doesn't trim anything, it leaves the ones underneath alone, but it creates a new object where those 2 objects have a common sort of point. If I selected all 3 of those objects, then the intersect would be this piece, which is the common place of all 3 of those circles. So that's the difference. You have weld and you have trim and you have intersect, and they're ways that you can, I guess, interact with your shapes and join them together or trim parts of them away.